The idea for this project was to simulate a small space solution for any type of function. They could imagine anything they wanted, and the only limitation was the budget, which was $1,000. What we've done was we went down from 17 different designs, voting half of them each couple of weeks, down to 2. And it had to be functional, it had to have a purpose, and that purpose had to be beautiful and well fit into the function. The merger of theory and practice is really important for architecture, and for architecture students to understand how what they draw, how what they design is reflected in reality is really critical. So they not only are productive and excellent in using software, using their hands and drawing and drafting, but also understand that if they need to be putting certain things together in one-to-one scale, that's a different reality.
I think once we were done with the elimination process and we actually started building and working with the wood, I really enjoyed that. I got to learn how to use all the equipment down in the wood lab, so that was great. I'm more of a hands-on kind of person than sitting at a computer, so I'd much rather be building than sitting at a computer. It makes more sense to me now, because before it was just like, it was starting to get tedious because we kept doing the same thing, model after model after model. And when you're making the model, it's not the same as building it. Because if you make a tiny little error in a model, nobody's gonna notice. You make a small error in cutting lumber, you're gonna notice. If you're off a ½ inch, you're like, crap, this isn't gonna work. You have to start over.
And this was very evident in this project when students spent a lot of time working on their designs and then got their hands on the real materials. Lumber, which is not straight, we got all these studs and they were crooked, so they had to figure out how to make the whole structure work. And they also had to handle pieces that are bigger than a couple feet by a couple of feet. So this structure here that we're sitting in right now is an art studio. It's designed for one person, and the idea here was to make it functional, but also make it fun, make it have good lighting, have good spaces, some storage. The most important lesson from this process was to marry the practice and theory. Often in architecture schools we work on theoretical projects and there's no outcome that can be seen in reality. So you work on these teeny tiny small models, you may employ computers, you print things out of 3D printers, out of plastic, and it doesn't have this kind of tangible real life outcome or final product that you can easily evaluate. It's one thing to look at the model in your hand and kind of imagine how you'll feel inside, and another actually sitting in that space and being able to evaluate it. So I believe that was the most important part of the project.